Well, I self-identify as a BBC campaigner, so I guess I better read this one, eh? Hi, it's me again, and a bit highbrow today. I've got an article from The Spectator. You wouldn't normally find me frequenting places like that. I'm more of a Sun kind of guy. But I stumbled across this one, and the headline was intriguing, so I thought we should talk about it today. Because the headline says, Macron's axed French TV licence is a lesson for BBC campaigners. And as I said at the beginning, I self-identify as a BBC campaigner. So this is obviously aimed at me. So I thought we should talk about this because if you're watching this, you may also be a BBC campaigner and it's a lesson that we need to learn by the looks of it. So we should crack on, eh? The Redevance, which is their TV licence fee, generates a colossal 3.2 billion euros annually, which ain't far off what the TV licence fee is. It's about a billion less really, because I think it's like 3.5, 3.6-ish billion now the UK TV licence fee generates. It's criminal how they get away with that, isn't it? There are countries with a lower GDP than that. It's mad, but they've done something to it. As it says, or as you may have heard in the papers, they have ended the TV licence fee in France, and all the BBC campaigners going, yeah, we can do that too. It's not all it seems, and he talks about that now. The Redevance TV licence fee might be dead, but the taxpayers will continue to pay. The budget of the swollen French state television and radio apparatus will henceforth be financed through VAT, which merely makes the subsidy less visible. Yeah, so many people have come to me and said, why can't we do the same as the French are doing? They've cancelled their TV licence. They haven't. They just upped VAT. So more people are paying more money than they would have been if there was a TV licence fee. It's a stealth tax. And it's an absolute Mickey take. I mean, it's a bit different how it works in France because loads of other places get subsidies. It's not just TV channels that get subsidies. Radio gets a subsidy, much like the BBC, obviously, but newspapers can also get a subsidy. He says here that the New York Times only prints a few thousand copies in France, but they still get a government subsidy for printing it. And this is all now going to be financed just the same as before, same amount of money, but you think you've got away with it. When you haven't, you're probably giving them more money. Bloody French. Politicians will be listened to more attentively than ever because they will decide the future levels of subsidies. It's incredibly improbable that the state broadcasting monolith will be able to do much to arrest a trend of falling, ageing audiences. The young are abandoning state TV and radio for their mobiles. Yeah, that is why the TV licence fees have to go, because the older people over 40, do still pay because they like a bit of broadcast TV. But the TV licence fee payers of the future, the younger ones, they're not bothered. They're living on their phones and their tablets and their laptops, whatever. They're not watching the big rectangle in the living room anymore. And when they do, it's certainly not broadcast TV that they're watching. Broadcast TV doesn't exist to these people. And now they're going to uni and from there getting their first jobs and getting their first flats. And the last thing on their mind is going to be paying for a TV. Like, why should I pay for a TV licence fee? I don't watch any telly. I live on Netflix and on YouTube and Twitch on my phone. Something's got to change. Otherwise, the state-funded broadcasters will just go out of business. They go out of business. And that's why there's loads of talk in the UK about it going onto your council tax, because that is going to be a way to save the BBC. But the best way to save the BBC is to show ads. Show ads. ITV manage it. Channel 4 manage it. Show ads. So he talks here about subsidies. Look, newspapers receive a subsidy for every copy they sell, even the New York Times, as I mentioned earlier. And the effect on these subsidies has been to produce a moribund media landscape favouring incumbency and conformity over dissidence and innovation. And also, if the government's deciding your level of subsidy, why would you write anything that's anti-government? You wouldn't, would you? Because you don't bite the hand that feeds you. So whilst the government don't directly control the media, they sort of do, don't they? Because they can cut the funding at any time they want. They've got them dangling on a little hook, haven't they? What lessons exist here for the BBC? It looks like abolishing the TV licence would be less controversial than BBC lovies might suggest. French voters are unhappy subsidising a media class that belittles and infantilises them. This is equally true in Britain. But what both countries have in common is the refusal of their governments to get out of the media business. If the BBC or France televisions were as loved as they claim to be, neither should need to be financed from any tax, no matter how it is labelled. It's a very fair point. It's a very fair point, isn't it? The BBC always claim to be one of the leading broadcasters in the world of news, and their dramas are known around the world for their high quality. You don't need the licence fee then, do you? If you're that good, you can show ads or sell subscriptions to your stuff. You manage it in other countries. You know, iPlayer's now being rolled out to other countries. You've got UK TV that shows ads in the UK. You've got BBC Global News and all that. You've got BBC Studios that sell shows all around the world and turns over 1.4 billion a year. That doesn't come off the TV licence fee requirements for the following year, which is wrong for a start. And loads of other private entities known as BBC whatever. If you're that good, you don't need the licence fee, do you? You can stand on your own 2 feet like every other television channel in the UK has to do. ITV make a profit, Channel 4 make a profit, even Channel 5 make a profit. If you're that good, you don't need our help, do you? Just yesterday, the BBC claimed to be reducing its property estate to concentrate its funding on the programmes and services audience love. Well, that was the Eastenders set. They built the new one. They always knew they were going to sell the Elstree one. They got about 70 million for it, so it's not exactly breaking news, that one. If they are so loved, why do they spend 100 million a year chasing and prosecuting nearly 200,000 people a year who decline to pay? Now, they actually spend a bit more than that, to be fair. They do spend a bit more than that. But again, it's a fair point nonetheless. You know, if they're that loved, why are they spending over 100 million a year to prosecute 200,000 people who don't want to pay it? You know, but again, that number could be zero if people just shut the door. You know, the only way they know what you're watching is by you telling them when they knock on your door. If you just shut the door and said no thanks, that number would be zero, and they'd have spunked their over 100 million a year on nothing, and there'd be uproar, wouldn't there? So he makes some fair points here. And we've got to be careful about where this goes, because at the minute, the TV licence fee is opt-out. So if you don't watch anything that's being broadcast on any device or service or use BBC iPlayer, you don't have to pay. I haven't paid it for nearly 10 years. Loads of you haven't paid it for more than me, you know. But if it changes and it goes on the council tax, it goes on the broadband bill, do what the French do, stick it on the VAT, which I can't see happening, but it could. How do you opt out of that? How do you opt out of that? So we do have to be careful where we go with our campaign. That's why my main focus is pushing the BBC just to become commercial. They're not scared of being commercial. They've got loads of commercial companies called BBC whatever. They show ads on UK TV, which they own 100%. That's the direction we need to push the BBC into going to. Because if they find an alternative for the licence fee, it might not be a good one. So what do you think about this then? Do let me know about it in the comments below. And if you want to read the whole article, because it's quite a good article, I'll put the link in the description below. You can go and have a look for yourself and have a read and then come back and let me know your thoughts on it, can't you? So as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And that way, hopefully, I'll get to see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da!